are turned off. Hit that Z key. Okay, that will turn them on and off. If I turn mine off and I say go forward, and then I stop holding the button to go forward, I keep moving. And if I'd been going any faster, I would have taken some damage. Ships will definitely take damage. I'm deep space salvage, and I have salvaged so many ships that people have rammed into asteroids because they didn't know how to stop. So just turn on that inertial dampener with the Z key and you're good to go. So right now my speed is 0. If I'm moving, you'll see my speed will drop back to 0 with inertial dampeners on. That is to compensate for your inertia. If I turn them off, I will just keep moving at that speed. So, oh no, I'm drifting into space. What do? Turn on those inertial dampeners. There we go. So you'll see my energy is slowly dropping. I'm currently down to about 70%. Well, there's a couple of different ways you can get energy back. The easiest way is to sit in a chair. Okay, any type of chair. This one here happens to be a control station. And from here I can kind of look around in third person. There's no first person view from this chair. If I zoom out far enough, I can actually view my asteroid. Woohoo! Look at that. There's a big rock. Okay, so now you'll see my energy's back up to 100. Now I'll get out of the seat. You can jump into a cockpit on any ship as long as it's got power. If it doesn't have power, you're not going to be able to do much, okay? And you'll see here on the right-hand side, now it's showing my ship, or my station here, actually. It's showing power usage, reactors, thrusters. This one shouldn't be showing thrusters because I don't have any ships connected. There are some bugs, okay? Like right now, okay, now it looks like we're looking at just our station here. And then, again, you can go into K, which will bring you into the control panel so you can see everything. Now, remember, there was that Highway 2. That's my antenna broadcast. I'm broadcasting Highway 2 from here, and then at the other antenna, the danger zone. Congratulations if you understand what that means. So here we've got some of those arc furnaces I was telling you about to process ores. I've got some assemblers here to make stuff. I've got a couple of batteries here. They're kind of like a battery backup system, so that if something happens to my power, they'll come on and hopefully I can respawn in my medical bay. I've got some collectors here, and I'll show you those later. Connector I was mentioning for connecting with other ships. My control station, which is what I'm sitting in, and if this were a ship and it had thrusters, I could control them. I could turn on and off the inertial dampeners with it. If it was a vehicle with wheels, I could control the wheels and the handbrake too. So there are wheeled vehicles. I do want to make some of those. Also, I mentioned about ownership. You can see here the owner is me, and I can transfer it to anyone in my group, in my faction, or I can give it. I can make the owner nobody, which means anybody can come up and use it. Of course, if nobody owns it, anybody can come up and claim ownership as well. I can share it with my faction, I can share it with everyone on the server, or I can share it with no one if I want to be selfish. So I do have some Gatling turrets here, and some pistons that I've set up for doing some different things, and I'll show you some of those later. I've got 2 gravity generators that are connected here in different locations. One is at a negative 0.5 G. Negative just means that if the block is facing up, gravity is inverted. So instead of pulling down towards it, it's going to pull up to it. I've got some small interior turrets. Those are pretty much just anti-personnel. And then I've got my cargo containers, those laser turrets I was talking about that I need to switch out. I've got a medical room. I've got a passenger seat, which is just another place where I can sit down and recharge. I've got some pistons icons, and you can see a whole bunch of different strange alphanumeric characters. Those are naming conventions that I have used to try to keep things organized. Small containers, small reactors, and then some solar panels. And when you see that they are a different color, that means they're attached, but not a part of the main structure. And what that means is, I'm going to go and show you guys what I refer to as a gunflower. Okay, so it's kind of like a sunflower, but it's got guns. And so we'll take a look at this one here. This is one of my gunflowers, and it's called that because it does open up. One of the things that I can do is I can go into my info screen and I can show center of mass, gravity range, and sensor field range. And now when I look at this, you see all of these points. These are centers of mass, and if it has a center of mass, that means it's attached but a separate entity. And the reason why it's like that is because it's attached to a piston. I'll probably end up showing you guys more about the gunflowers later. For right now, I'm just going to leave this here. And for now, I've got these two kind of bases here. This one here, the danger zone, this is labeled as HQ. Now, I mentioned that they have antennas. That means I can communicate with them remotely. So if I go into my inventory menu, you can see here, I have, here I've got the DSS SAT, which I suppose I should change that to DSI, huh? Let's go into this, and we're going to change this to DSI, because it's actually a SAT for satellite base, basically. So here you can see I've got a convert to ship option, so if you make a platform and decide you want to turn it into a ship, boom, you can hit convert to ship, and then, you know, you've got to have thrusters on it in order for it to move, but that way you can build it as a solid structure and then convert it to a ship, and off you go. Here I can see the inventory for everything that's in the different containers, and the reason why I can do this remotely is because there's an antenna. Same thing here if I go to the DSS HQ, which I need to rename DSI. So let's go and do that. So that's been renamed. So here you can see all the different things that are in this base. And then I've got myself and Drill Ship 4.0. This looks like this must belong to IMAXORS, so I'm not going to mess with it. But one thing you can do is you'll notice here it's got a remote control, which means if it were turned on, I would be able to remote control it. He's actually got two of them, probably one for the front view and one for the rear view, because the orientation of the remote control determines how it looks for you. This has no name. That's interesting. Let's see. Does he have... Yes, he does have a camera, and I can actually view it. Why is his drill running? Is he online? He is. Oh, goodness. I didn't realize he was online. Alright, let's go ahead and say hi to him. Hi, Max. I am viewing... if I can spell here, through your camera. Interesting. And streaming it on Twitch. Creepy. So you can remote control your ships. If he weren't controlling it right now, I could take control of it, and I could fly it around and do whatever I wanted. So you can make like fighters and bombers. A remote control block, my ships blow up. Make sure the power was off. I mean, that shouldn't happen. A remote control block you should be able to just take off. Okay, that should not happen. Sorry, I am having a little bit of trouble with typing lately because I got a brand new keyboard. It's a gaming keyboard. It's an X7 G800V. It's got like 16 macro keys on it, and some of the other keys are in different places. Like the enter key is shaped a little bit differently. My backslash is pretty much where I'm used to hitting the enter key, so you'll see me backslash a lot, and then some of the keys don't quite feel right. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, if I were to stay viewing through that camera long enough, I would actually die. Because even if I'm doing something like that, it does not stop my energy usage, especially if I've got my jetpack on. Okay, so like I was saying, here's my other base. Okay, that's bad if it crashes the server. This right here, this is some bulletproof glass. It's a window made of bulletproof glass and some girders. It's pretty cool. You'll see it's kind of hard to see through on that side, but if I come through over here, I can see through it pretty easily. Times it did not save, so I came back to my ship. Still there is. Oh, wait. Did you see that? There was a light. So if I turn off my lamp here, see those lights? Yeah, that's the lighting bug right now. I've got interior lights up there, but you can only see the light from a certain angle. And as soon as you move out of it, the light goes away. So that's a bug. They had it fixed and then they brought it back. I don't consider it a feature at all. See there, if I look at a specific direction, the lights work. Otherwise, they don't. So here you can see, and this light's here because, well, I've got a passenger seat here, so I can sit down and just recharge. Once I'm in the seat, I can turn, I can look around. I can even, you know, like kind of view myself. Oh, can I zoom in a little bit further? I'd like to see myself. Where am I? Doesn't really want to let me. Now let's go back to here so I can see myself from here. So I can look around and all that. Okay, let's go ahead and hop out. So this here's one of those interior turrets I was telling you about. If you look inside, it uses regular 5.56 NATO rounds. You load up your magazines. One of the problems with these is they cannot be connected to conveyors. The other guns can. This here is one of those antennas I was telling you about. It's fairly large and requires lots of components to make. This here is just a small cargo container I've got stuck in the floor so that I can access things, because all the real storage is way down there. So if I'm up here, darn that lighting, and I want to build something, I need access to my stuff. So over here I've got another interior turret, and that's just to help protect this area. You can see over here I've got a battery, kind of for battery backup, and in fact, let me make, okay, good, it's on recharge. Another interior turret because this is my original medical room, and so it's here to protect it, because when I only had one, I'd get griefed sometimes, and that's bad. Griefers suck. So, alright, let's go ahead and run down here. God, I want them to fix that lighting. Okay. So here we are, and you'll see at 0.5 gravity, because I've got a 0.25 here and a 0.25 over in the other base, they're close enough that the fields combine for a 0.5. I can just kind of drop down here and not take any damage. It's kind of cool. Now over here to 0.2, I can fall even further. You'll see there's some damage here because we've been having some trouble with drilling machines, drilling ships, and little rocks, basically. And that's just something they're going to need to